Chairman, thank you once again for inviting us into your house, to your home, to discuss the season. I mean, players, pundits, managers, they've all had their say on it. It was a difficult season to navigate at times. Now the dust is starting to settle, what's your view on it?
Well, Chris, first of all, thank you. Always a pleasure speaking to you. What is it, 15 seasons in a row we've qualified to the Champions League, 7 seasons in a row, semi-finals, the FA Cup, 3rd season in a row, we're in the final. In a tough season like the one we've had, to end up where we've ended up, not at all anywhere near the aspirations that we've had, not anywhere near the high bar we've really set upon ourselves. But listen, it's okay. It's a lot of lessons learned, a lot of experiences that we will never forget, a lot of challenges that I've never dealt with personally, professionally, over these last 17 years combined. And the culmination of all that is a experience that I believe will be invaluable for us going forward.
In all businesses, in all walks of life, say you learn more from your bad days than your good days.
Absolutely.
What specifically have you learned?
The beauty about football, let's start, is there's always a new season. And today we get to turn this page. The season that just passed, 24-25, is behind us. The records are there, what we have achieved and what we haven't. And it's basically black and white. What went into it in terms of that journey, the emotions from day one to yesterday, is the experience that you learn from. And in life, particularly in the most challenging times, that's really where you learn about yourself, how you handle that stress, that pressure. When things get thrown at you that you don't expect, things from left field, many circumstances just didn't work our way. And by the way, that happens in life. It happens. You're going to have injuries. You're going to have things that don't go your way. You're going to win games that you don't deserve, and you're going to lose games that you deserve to win. It just happens. It's just a lot of these things happened for us this season at the same time. And we had to deal with it. And we had to stay strong. We had to stay focused. We had to stay, composed. I'm particularly proud of how we didn't overreact in the hardest times. So that dealing with that challenge was important for us to stay cool, understand the issues that we're dealing with. And I think we managed that. We managed it, and we handled it as a group. There was no finger pointing, there was no quitting, there was persistence, and there was perseverance, and at the end of the day, achieving what we had set ourselves to achieve in the midst of the hardest times. And I think we achieved it, which was, at the end of the day, we needed to finish as high as possible.
So the message going forward to the supporters is what? We'll be back?
Absolutely. Absolutely. We will be back. This season is a season that's now behind us. Today is a new day. We start working and preparing for next season. And by the way, we've been doing that since January. And we will take all the good things and the not so good things from this season and learn from it and improve from it and get better. And I can assure you, this club will do everything possible to come back to the standards that we know we all can achieve and that we know we will achieve. Because really, if there's one thing I'd like right now, is to turn that page from last season and just immediately start focusing on next season. And I think all the players, everyone I saw yesterday after the Fulham game, all the players, they're excited. They're excited about coming back. Nobody feels good about how we finished the season. They want to come back, and they want to come back hungry. And I can see the hunger in these players. They want to come back to preseason. Normally, these players are off, and they're also starting to think about vacation time and etc. Honestly, every player I spoke to was telling me, we're coming back. We're ready to come back in 3 weeks' time. I was speaking to Rodri as an example. He's looking for games. Erling didn't want to go on vacation. He wanted to stay with the physios and prepare for next season. And that's the attitude you want. And that's exactly why you see me so positive. And we're going to come back strong with a lot of positivity. I just got off the phone right now with Ferran. He spent the day with Cheeki, Pep, and Hugo today, this morning. We finished yesterday evening, our last game, and today we're working. Nobody's going on vacation yet.
So the perceived wisdom is that there might be some sort of renewal of the squad this season. Can you tell us what that might look like and what sort of transfer business people can expect?
Yes, this club has gone through, as always, a regeneration. We've gone through, I think, at least when I look at the last 16, 17 odd years being involved in this club, so many different squads, and we've done it, I think, in a structured way over the years. This year is another year where I think, when I look back, I think last summer we probably should have been more aggressive in some of the changes we needed to do. We didn't do that, and that ended up costing us this year. We already started that rebuild of this team in January. Normally we like to do our business in the summer, and only in case of emergency or a special need that comes up do we actually go and do business in January. That's been our MO, at least for the last 7-8 years. But this January you had to act.
I was going to say, well, as soon as you brought it up, the profile of the players you brought in January as young players, how do you think they've settled in, and what sort of future do you think those players are going to have at City?
Well, first thing I want to say is they all fit the construct of the squad that we are trying to build. And whether they would have come in last summer or this summer now, all of them are players that we've been following for a while, that have been well scouted, that fit within the profile in terms of both age and position and technical versatility, that fits within the way we've worked on this team. Our management, our coaches, everybody's involved in this decision making, from Ferran to Cheeki to Hugo now joining in, and of course Pep and his coaching staff and the entire scouting team. So this is a really team effort, as always, in identifying the talent, identifying the areas that we need to address. I think with Omar Marmoush, excellent player, and I think very clear. He's been on our radar for a while, and would have been a target for this summer, but the need was clear. He's come in, and you can see he's made an immediate impact. Then you have Kuzanov. Kuzanov is another very, very talented central defender that we've been again watching for a while, and again in the winter would have been a player that we would have made the move on this summer, but we needed to move early. At that moment, if you remember, there was a lot of injuries in that very specific position, which is in central defense. And Kuzanov is the type of young, versatile, very talented central defender that I think would fit perfectly within our group. Vitor Reis, very talented central defender, very versatile, 19, young, but has all the attributes of what we think will be a tremendous player for this club. And then finally, Nico Gonzalez, very talented player, again, has been on our radar for a while. We had very specific needs in that holding midfielder position in January. Never easy to move players in the January window, never easy for them to come in and immediately perform in the Premier League to start with, in our team, which is again quite a team, but credit to all these 4 players. They all came in and immediately added to the club and to the team, and we feel very good. We feel very good about these players. That's 4 players in January, and that gives you an idea of what's coming this summer, because we will continue this summer with this, serving the needs of the club. And I can tell you today, that's, I would say, day 1 of the new season, we have clearly identified who exactly are the targets, in what positions, and we have our clear number 1 option, our clear number 2 option, and we're going about our business, and it will be very clear, very swift, and our objective is to try to be ready with the new squad for the Club World Cup.
I was going to say, one person who won't be back, we know for sure, is Kevin De Bruyne, at least not in a City shirt. I mean, you've spoken a little bit about him already. You presented him with the mosaic, and you said some lovely words about him. Can you want to expand on exactly what Kevin De Bruyne has meant to you as a chairman and a City fan, and to the club as a whole?
Kevin has been just extraordinary.
Well, you called him the greatest player in our history, and you've already got his lovely photograph behind you there in your house. So,
listen, I mean, obviously I have a subjective view, and my view is from the lens I see from the football I've lived over these years, obviously as chair but also as a fan of this club. And what Kevin has given to this club in my view, he's the greatest player to play for this club. I think his accomplishments speak for themselves. His accomplishments for the club in terms of trophies, in terms of that tally, number of Premier Leagues, the Champions League, FA Cups, Community Shields, Carabao Cups. I mean, it's an unbelievable tally, the highest of any player that's ever played for this club. His personal achievements, twice PFA Player of the Year. He's been a captain, he's been a leader, he's been a teammate, he's been everything you'd hope from your most important player. His influence on everyone, from the academy to the communities of fans, not just of the club of Manchester City, but of football all over the world, is unquestionable. So Kevin, what he really transcends this team, and I am so proud of what he's accomplished. It's one of the best decisions we ever took. The day we took the decision to invest in Kevin and bring him from Wolfsburg. I remember some people thought we overpaid.
Mm-hmm. Some quite high-profile people.
Yes, it's one of the best memes out there, huh?
Yeah. And from the outside looking in, he's also been fairly low maintenance over those 10 years. That must give you a great sense of pride, because any business who can keep its staff, let alone, ordinary staff, let alone high performance, high maintenance.
Yes, the environment is key. The environment is the people. The environment is the culture, and I think what we have at the club today is a great culture, and that's what brings the magic, and that's what brings all the trophies you see in that picture. Kevin, yes, was an incredible player, but he had an incredible team around him, incredible coaching staff with him, an incredible organization supporting him, and I have to say, the best fans in the world, an incredible fan base that has been just amazing. All that together is what makes this club so special.
And while we're talking about Pep, and I know you've grown closer and closer to him over the years he's been here, and a year ago we didn't know whether he was going to stay, and now he's committed to 2027. How pleased from a personal point of view were you that he signed that contract, and how has your relationship changed over the years, if at all?
Like any relationship, this has been now it's going to be almost 10 years working with Pep and getting to know him and to be closer and closer to him. You've asked me this question many times over the years, whenever his contract was due, and you've always seen me relaxed about this, because I think one thing we have with Pep, which is so fundamental, is one word: trust. We have trust, and it goes both ways. I think he trusts us, he trusts me, he trusts the organization, he trusts the club, and we trust him. And that trust is what, in the good times, allows you to keep winning, and in the tough times is the hardest, and that's where that trust really shows up. And we've gone through all these ups and downs, and we've always stood together as a team. And inevitably, it's always shown to be the foundation of our success. So I have a lot of trust in Pep. I think he had a tough year, like many people. It was not easy for him professionally. It was not easy for him personally. But I have the highest respect for him as a person. How he handled this year, how he handled the hard parts, how he's behaved, always, with respect. And you get closer always, with time and with new experiences. And I think this year, if anything, got us even closer together, given the challenges that we've had to deal with.
And we talked earlier about players staying a decade, and Silva, Company, Aguero, great names of the past, Kevin. And now you've got Erling, who you also mentioned was so keen to not go on holiday. You've got him signed up for 10 years. Can you tell us a little bit about how that came about and why so long?
Well, it's clear. We know what we have now in Erling, which is the most prolific striker, I think, in the world. And we have Erling in this club We have him completely bought in to everything that is Manchester City. He is an incredible talent, he is an incredible person, and he's at the right age. And when we look at the next 10 years, Erling is at the heart of what we are building. And it was, again, for me, a pretty clear, easy decision.
It's amazing you say the word building when you just come back off 4 consecutive Premier League victories and all the trophies we've won in last year, and yet you still believe we are still building to something better?
Absolutely. What you talk about is history. What we are focusing on is the future, always. History is great and it's lovely and we celebrate it and we enjoy it. But then the page flips and there's a new page to write. And the future is about what we can do together. How many more leagues we can keep winning. How many more Champions League we can go on and win. How many Club World Cups we're going to go and win. FA Cups, Carabao Cups, Community Shields. It's writing the next chapter and the following chapter. And Erling is at the heart of it. And I think this commitment it goes both ways. It's Erling telling the club and telling us, he's betting on us. And it's us telling him, we're betting on you and we're betting for the next 10 years, you're going to take us to the next chapters with more trophies and an incredible success.
And another man who's been at the club a long time, but he won't be after the summer. I think he's staying through the summer. And we mentioned him already being in the office this morning, making those decisions with Pep. Cheeki, can you put into words what he's meant in the last 10 years?
He's a legend. Cheeki is a legend, and I don't use that word lightly. 13 years, what Cheeki has accomplished has been integral in the success of this club, in every part. Having an effective football director requires a particular style, a particular vision, a particular approach. And I think if you're going to go to the Oxford Dictionary and search for football director, I think the image and picture of Cheeki should be the image that appears. He is the personification of an incredible football director in everything he has done and everything he has accomplished and in the way he does it. And I look back at 13 years he's given to the club. I think the trophies obviously speak for themselves. His role, his handprint is in every one of these trophies. All these players that have come in over these years, all these players that have also exited, managing that operational side of it, dealing with multiple managers from Mancini to Pellegrini to
and all different
Guardiola,
personalities.
Very different personalities, all handling them with grace and eloquence, all building trust and confidence with all of them, and then being a great custodian for the club in being very conscious on the financial side of it, which is again quite to get that balance between the football knowledge and the right financial knowledge and make the right decisions both in terms of the entries and the exits. I mean, he's brought in, I think, over £1 billion of revenue from player sales. Wow. in his 13 years with the club. And then he's rebuilt multiple squads. And his role, even in this now latest iteration, with the work that he's done in January and the work that he's doing together now with Hugo this summer as we enter the Club World Cup, I think is a testament to his professionalism. Coming from the business world, I'm always, a big fan of managed transitions. Keeping the talent as long as physically possible and then managing the transition in the most effective way. I'm very proud of how the club has handled this transition by, again, agreeing with him in a very timely manner over these last couple of months so that it's going to be as smooth a transition as it can get.
One person you're not going to be looking for, one position you're not going to look to fill this summer is 6, and we talked about Rodri chomping at the bit to get back. How big a miss was he this season, and how proud of him were you when he collected that Ballon d'Or?
Well, first of all, again, we should be so proud at this club to have finally a Ballon d'Or winner. We've had at least, I would say, 3 players that had a very great shot at it. Erling, Kevin, and I will argue even Sergio over these years. And finally, Rodri gets the Ballon d'Or, and he was deservedly the winner last year, and then to get injured in September with an ACL injury and lose miss the whole season effectively in the year that he won the Ballon d'Or is tough luck. And Rodri, beyond the Ballon d'Or, just as a player, is such an important player for this club in every possible way, on the pitch and off the pitch. So he was a huge miss for us this season, a massive miss. But credit to him, he's been a top professional.
Look at the speed at which he's come back, which is, he must have been putting in a lot of hard yards.
To handle the therapy side of it, the surgery first, and then the therapy, and then going through, these weeks and weeks of difficult recovery. It's hard on every player, and it tells you a lot about the personality. Some players are good players that recover well, others not so well. Some fast, some slow. Players. They're humans. Everybody's different. Rodri, I think, was top notch. He was a Ballon d'Or also as an injured player. He was just, again, the best. He trained hard, recovered hard, was very disciplined. He wanted to be on the pitch as soon as physically possible. But we have to also be careful. The doctors and the physios, they have to be comfortable for him. We're thinking of Rodri for the long term. We're thinking of Rodri for his career, and we wanted to make sure that we, play it safe. This season is this season. It is what it is. There's nothing you're going to change about it. He's now fully fit, and he's ready. And I have no doubt Rodri's going to come back to the heights of the Ballon d'Or year and more. I'm so excited about him coming back.
What an example of a player to have in your club. With the academy next door, they must be looking at Rodri and going, I want to be him. I want to play alongside a Ballon d'Or winner. I want to be with him to play. I want to emulate him. And again, there's been success this year in the academy. Nico O'Reilly being the standout springer from the pack, I guess. Have you been pleased with the way that's gone again this season?
Yes, the academy continues to grow from strength to strength. The academy continues to produce great talent. Their competition, I think, in England, they remain very competitive at every age group, which is something we're very obviously proud of. And then ultimately, the players that are able to, like Nico O'Reilly, join the first team, and not only join the first team, but actually become contributors to the success of the first team is obviously the great ambition we've always had, and we've had a great history with that, from the Phil Foden of the world, Rico Lewis, James McAtee. I mean, we've had many players now that have come through over the years.
And there seems to be a pool of talent waiting in the wings, as it were. If you look at just pure results, FA Youth Cup finalists, PL2 won again. And I spent some time in the academy a few weeks back and was talking to Thomas, and he was saying that connection, and Cheeki was part of that. Cheeki would visit the academy on a daily basis or a weekly basis when, if he was away. And that connection between the two
is very important.
Departments.
It's very, very important. The connection is very important. The consistency of success, the tradition now, because now we have really that tradition of success. Almost 10 years of a tradition of success, of high standards, of connectivity between the academy and the first team. Obviously, I think the CFA was designed for that. Having the academy and the first team really in one campus, there's no question that is a physical construct that allows that to happen, combined with the philosophy, which is the ethos of this club, and that interconnection between the academy and the first team. And that is something everybody's bought into, everyone's committed to, and I think the players understand that and realize that. Both, by the way, both the young players, they can see and aspire to being part of the first team, and the first team, when Pep invites some of these young players to come train with the first team, I think if you watch some of these training sessions you see how our first team players behave with these academy players, that behavior, that professionalism, I think is so important. And that's what creates some of the magic that we've been seeing.
Finally, in this section, just turn to the women's team. Again, they face challenges. Changed manager Gareth Taylor left after many years as part of the City family. partway through the season. How do you see them bouncing back and closing this domestic gap, A, with Chelsea and B, with Arsenal, who won the Champions League?
I think our women's team also have high standards, and our standards were not met this year. It's not where we would have ended, where we would have wanted to end in terms of the performances and in terms of the results ultimately. The distance isn't that far between ourselves and the, let's say, the leaders in the league. I think when you look at Chelsea and Arsenal, I think who have set the bar this year, to give them the full credit. I think it's an amazing achievement for the English game, having Arsenal win the Champions League, and I think that's great because that for us now raises the bar, and now we know what we need to also do as a club and as a team to be able to compete at that level, both with the what are now the leaders in the women's game in England, and we can see the distance between us and how to make it closer. It's about people again, and then the decisions we will take are going to be decisions with that objective, the objective to bring this team to compete in every competition that they participate in, and to maintain a high standard as a club, and we will do that.